Now let's talk about the do-while loop. Now I've left the while loop up here because I want you to see it and kind of see the differences. There's a very easy way to convert this into a do-while loop. And really all I have to do is take the while, pull it down here outside the code block, and replace it with do. Okay. Now this message box show is not part of it, but there's the syntax for this. Now notice we're saying do this code while this condition exists. Now what that's going to mean is that we're going to do this, and then we'll do this, and then we'll evaluate it. Then we'll come back up here, we will start back at the top, we'll do this, and then we'll evaluate it. Now if I run this, you're going to notice that it's going to run very, very similar to the old one. Okay, but I want to show you something here. I'm going to change some of this right here. Let's say A equals and put a space, then come right here and put a plus sign. We're going to concatenate, and then I'm going to call that convert method convert to string A. So whatever A is worth, it's going to show us now. Now bear with me here. Let's run it one more time. Click. Notice A is equal to 1. Click it again. A is equal to 2. And as long as A is less than 4, we're going to keep running. So A is equal to 3. And then once A is equal to 4, it's no longer less than 4, then the loop is over. But now I want to show you something. This is one of the things you have to watch with these loops, and you'll just have to play with it. Notice what happens if I take the A equals A plus 1, okay, and put it on top of the message box. Okay, and then I run this. Notice the first time up, A equals 2. Because, and let me break this and show you, because I've set A equal to 1 up here when I instantiated the variable. Now I've added 1 to it, then I show the message box, and then I check the condition, and then I go back. Now what this means is A starts out at 2, and I only get 2 clicks, and then I'm out, and I'm over the loop. So the only thing is, the only difference between a while loop and a do while loop is when this particular condition gets checked. Here, we're always going to run this one time, and then we'll check the condition. Okay, does that make sense? And in a while loop, and let me scroll down, and well, that's a do loop. Hold on. Here it is. I got it back for you. In the while loop, it checks the condition, and then it runs this if this condition returns a true. And in the do while, it's going to run this, and then it's going to check for a condition. So notice here, if I change the A equal to 7, it was 5, and now we've changed it to 7. And I'm telling it, only run this while A is less than 4. I'm going to come down here and highlight all this, come up here and comment it out, and now let's run it. A is equal to 7. And so you'll notice if I run it that no matter what, A is equal to 8, but it ran the first time through, but now it checks the value and says, wait a minute, I don't want this to run anymore. And I hope you see that somewhat subtle difference, and that is that with a do, this is always going to run, and then your while will catch and throw it out. With a while, it checks the condition at the very top, and sometimes, depending on where you have your incrementals or your decrementals or whatever you're doing inside there, you can get a different number of loops out of each of these different loop styles. So the bottom line here is, and I know this is a bit confusing maybe, but when you're trying to loop through on a condition and control your code, you will realize, oh wait a minute, I need to always check this, I need to always run this once and then check it, or I don't want to run this if it doesn't happen. It will kind of become automatic for you. But there are times when you'll code something and you'll code it as a while and you'll run it and you'll realize, oh wait a minute, that should have been a do while. Okay, so that's the difference between a do while and a while. I hope I didn't confuse you, but a lot of power here And this is when your programming really starts to take on these kind of thinking characteristics, because we can start to evaluate things and branch based on what that evaluation turns up.